More baseball talk too, but now Canada's national summer sport. The St. Catharines Junior A Athletics regular season begins Wednesday night at home, Canada Games Park, and this season is a big one.
Everybody's talking, the buzz ain't just a beer. Radio man keeps saying, this could be our year. Huddled up headlights, team colors cross the lawn. Don't matter where you're coming from, we're here to get it gone. It's that hometown crowd, yeah, it's in our blood. And even when the clock runs out, we still raise the cup. It ain't about that hat trick, home run, big first down. Just looking for a little something we can rally around. Seat in the house, courtside or on the couch, we still get loud.
Good evening. We welcome you into Tony Rose Arena for another Ontario Junior Lacrosse League game of the week tonight. It is the Orangeville Northmen in their home opener, taking on the Kitchener-Waterloo Lacrosse Club. My name is Matthew Carrick inside Tony Rose, as we said, along with the JVI Sports Network. The 1-1 Orangeville Northmen, we saw them a few nights ago in Brampton, defeating the Excelsiors after a loss in St. Catharines. A 1-0 KW. Winning their opener against Peterborough, who we'll see on Friday. But lots to do before that as the two teams crouch in. Kitchener working off the home bench in their black and maroon. Former Orangeville Northman goaltender Zach Richards in their net this evening. More on him as the game goes on, as well as Evan Konstantopoulos on the back end for the Northmen, wearing their iconic white and silver and black jerseys. Big screen set and straight to the cage. Sanderson's working and continuing where they left off when we last saw them on Monday. Dylan Sanderson going in to set a screen, and then they cut to the net from Cohen Jennings, who had a big night in Brampton with a hat trick, and that took all of 11 seconds before it was in the back of the KW net. So 1-0 early on the opening shot of the game. Dylan Sanderson picking up the assist on Cohen Jennings' goal. Cam and Dylan. There is a third Sanderson in the lineup tonight, wearing number 81. That's Nolan Sanderson, the son of Phil. Also Evan Miller, Brandon Miller's son. Then, of course, we know what Max Kruger did with 4 goals on Sunday evening. Good enough to earn him the Gatorade Rookie of the Week with 6 goals in 2 games. Working in again, Garen Jennings. Waits for help off the bench. There is Kruger. Puts it to Sanderson. Up top, Nolan Sanderson. Sidearm bouncer. Hits the end boards and then hauled down. Garen Jennings in front of the net. This one will be played back up through the middle. Caden Berger had nowhere to run, and now it'll be intercepted as the Northmen take over one more time. Dylan Sanderson. Kruger set the screen. Sanderson elects not to use it, and it's a low shot on Richards, who had 4 starts last year. A 2-2, officially 2-2 record, although one of those was against the Beaches, initially a 13-6 loss, as Chris Rathwell cuts to the net. Rathwell, one of the offensive superstars for this KW team, got the first shot off of Constantopoulos. He was in the net for that loss, 9-5 in St. Catharines. Transition coming back the other way. Bishop Berman drops it off. Ball to the near boards. This is Evan Miller. He'll wait for help off the bench. Coming in the form of Owen Ron and now Dylan Sanderson. Off to the waiting Cam Sanderson. Jennings back again. Hard shot off the arm of Richards. Played loose, taking some funny hops. This is our first game this season broadcast on a concrete surface, as a lot of the arena's starting to get turf. And Jennings from the outside ripped it off the boards. Cleanly picked there by Cam Sanderson. Dylan takes advantage of a falling defender, but the slide and help comes, and it's a big hit from Kyler Francis. Late in the shot clock, it's going to ricochet back up to Hunter Roy, who crosses center. Roy has Jennings all over him, and now Barker. That's no Barker giving to Max Frateroli. Out of the corner, a fake and a shot in the 5-hole of Constantopoulos. The 6'6", 230 Constantopoulos, practice roster goalie of the champion Buffalo Bandits. Their backup netminder, Steve Ortelman, on the bench of KW here in this game for head coach Will Peschenig. Dylan Sanderson going one-on-one. Everybody else clears out. Getting the better of that exchange was Joe Columbus. Reese DeCiccio couldn't handle that cleanly, but stalled his man long enough for the shot clock violation. We played 4 minutes already here. Rathwell brings it in again for KW. 11 seconds was all it took for Orangeville to open the scoring. Now on the run. A bounce shot from James Donnelly. Initially skipped wide, and the over and back will be called. The pair of Northmen, Cade Cordingley and Zach Poirier, chasing after. 15 and a half to go here in the first period, scheduled for 3:20s. Those of you still in winter mode, Kruger worked around an aggressive screen that knocked the KW player down and then got right back up and headed all the way down floor to Trayton Weinstein. But he was met by a formidable force in Constantopoulos, whose younger brother Zach got the start for Oakville 2 nights ago. From the outside, Kruger's shot finds the boards. It's going to bounce back over center, and here comes Kyler Francis in transition, breakaway, scores! Kyler Francis making his presence felt early in this game with a big hit defensively, and then tying this one up in transition. Off a wide shot and a number of fakes here. And the big goaltender who goes down early, you can see his size still takes up most of the cage. Again, it was Garrett Thompson with Constantopoulos out of the lineup on Sunday that ended up with that win, our last coverage in Brampton. We will see younger brother Zach tomorrow as the Oakville Buzz host the Toronto Beaches at 8 p.m. start time on the game of the week. as Evan Miller cuts to the net. His shot bounces off a couple boards, and Owen Ron tripped up far side. Thought there may have been interference called, but it's just the shot clock violation. Brendan Marino getting it through Rathwell. Back to Barker, last man off the bench. Late arrival, Frateroli. He'll return it to Rathwell on the boards. Couple stutter steps and a sidearm shot and the lead for KW. This is a great move from Rathwell, and second goal in succession, where I know the last one was a breakaway, but not all the way through the front of the goal mouth, but still lateral movement off to the right. And Rathwell makes it 2-1 here. Columbus. Need a chop from Sean Costigan off the face-off. Looked like he was looking for first a call from the official, then revenge before heading off. Back to the far side. Ball's going to bounce back in the direction of Noah Candy. First round draft pick last year. KW actually trading away Clark Dunford to Burlington, the 2023 first overall pick. Flip pass here. Bounces back to Nolan Sanderson. Trying to take it near the cage, and then Cam Sanderson blown up from behind, in behind the net just before the shot clock was about to expire. And the big man, Seth Martineau, going to head off for our first penalty of the game. Officially called a cross check by the crew chief, Simon D'Souza. He's joined by Kyle Coulter and Jeremy McNaught tonight, the three officials. Up top, Kruger. Round is back to Dylan Sanderson. Ball kept high so far, and then in the back of the net. Max Kruger stays hot. Especially here on the game of the week. Not a whole lot to say about this one except a sidearm shot down Main Street. Give him 7 goals now. In this, just his third game of the season, as we're tied up at 2s. DeCiccio ran into the face-off. That was pushed ahead by Cooper Campbell. One of 3 APs listed for the Northmen, who still have a number of players yet to come back. With the NCAA finishing up yesterday, Chris Rathwell had that one bounce out of his stick as he was right on top of the crease, including captain Jaden Ciapara, Liam Matthews, no Donnie Scott, no Jackson Shabbat, who we saw on Sunday, Aiden Matthews, Evan McDougall, Brock Redwood, Jake Spalina, Trey Deer, as KW comes out in transition again, and that shot, they are going to get a reset of the shot clock because it's in the stick of Dylan Sanderson. Cam, another hard hit, that one just as he was letting a shot go, and Dylan and Cam have been roughed up tonight as now Weinstein goes back and throws another cross check in the back of number 19. Kruger. Cam's going to come up, set a screen. It goes to Jennings. Cam to younger brother Dylan. Back to Jennings again. No shot still, so Dylan Sanderson off top spot. Cam got taken down by Columbus, and now Weinstein looking for help off the bench. And it goes to Donnelly. Donnelly in the corner. Big high step from Rathwell, the captain, as he came across the line. Rathwell and Frateroli both trying to track down the loose ball. It's going to come all the way back near center, in and out of the stick of Nolan Barker, and over the low glass here at Tony Rose Arena. That, good crowds and a lot of heat, staples of the Bunny Barn here in Orangeville. 50 seconds away from the halfway mark of this first period. All tied up at 2 with Cohen Jennings looking for a shot. He'll put the brakes on just inside the fan. Now backs out. 5 to shoot. Far side, and Richards going to stand tall there against Nolan Sanderson. Ryder Haynes bringing it across the timeline. Cal Brennan, big high step. Passed it to the far side. Wants the return pass, but Carter Coffey not going to let it get that far. Cutting to the net and landing in the crease was Brennan. Wasn't enough to beat the shot clock, and now ripped from the far side, Marino. Bench calling for a reset. On the initial shot and didn't get it. And the conversation continues across the floor between Will Peschnig and Kyle Coulter. Cade Cordingley got the help from an aggressive screen. That was too much in the eyes of the official. So with Weinstein, KW will go back the other way. Weinstein heads off. Frateroli to Rathwell. Going to get a heavy dose of 17 and 19 tonight. They do a lot of the damage for KW. Off the foot of Frateroli, and then the official. It's down floor. Zach Poirier looking for room to run. And we've got a penalty coming up here. Another one to KW. And Poirier knocks down Rathwell as the whistle was going. Now the official asking Owen Ron to calm things down. Here comes the penalty on the 2-on-1. Right there, the tug of the shirt, I believe, the holding call. Cross check. I believe it's going to be officially called there as it got up into the face mask on the exchange. Director and spotter, Rachel Wolf, thank you. Outside shot hits off Martineau and goes wide of the intended target. Sanderson recovers with 10 on the clock. That's enough to reset it off of Richards. Up top, Kruger. Dylan Sanderson. Still ball keeping high. Cam gets it again, takes a couple chops. Now Kruger, number of head fakes. Jennings low shot, kicked away by Richards. Jennings got to the loose ball first and will corral it, despite the pressure from Caden Berger. Just over a minute left in the power play. Dylan Sanderson needing a slash. Jennings far side. Dylan Sanderson fakes low, goes high. And it's another one for Orangeville. Dylan Sanderson with a hat trick the other night. And a quick pass from Jennings back across the floor. He's got 2 assists in the early going here tonight. Goaltenders take a chance to go for a water break as they blow the face-off in. Joe Columbus has to be related, I would think, to Bo Columbus, who was a dynamic face-off taker for KW in his junior days. Now doing that for the Brooklyn Lacrosse Club as a teammate of Stephen Orleman. Rathwell, a screen in front of Weinstein. Konstantopoulos covers up and quite nicely hands the stick back to Rathwell. Weinstein stood his ground against Costigan at center, but as pressure releases, Costigan allowed to walk in. Elijah Edwards to Kruger here. He'll use a pick from Ron to then find Sanderson off the bench. His outside shot was wide and bounces all the way back down floor. 7:15 to go. Northmen have just taken a 3-2 lead here in what is their home opener at Tony Rose Arena. Frateroli over the top. Pass back to Malachi Good. After the save, Cade Cordingley. Fake the shot, and then he gets pushed out wide towards the corner. Ron off the bench. Malachi Good really came alive last year after a trade from Oakville. There was a bit of an injury in there as well that took some points away, but could be a big rebound season for Malachi Good. Rothwell all the way back across, big fake. Couple screens from both sides as Brennan got the ball back and then shot it off Konstantopoulos. Officials are going to keep the ball with KW despite head coach Rusty Kruger thinking it was headed his team's direction. Sidearm shot bounces back past Brennan. Going to head all the way down floor where Elijah Edwards will go chase it. Thought he was going to get the quick restart out of the corner, but not to be. As now Sanderson, that's Nolan. Getting it back up top. Kruger steps into a hard shot and then tripped up, and it was that collision that forced him into the crease. Francis with it from Martineau. Under 6 to play here in the first period. Barker for Frateroli. Far side. Screen set for the ball carrier. Back to Barker. Up top, outside shot. And Konstantopoulos will save Frateroli's offering. Good pace early on here. Through this first period, we've seen 5 goals as well. 3 for the Northmen, 2 on the side of KW. DeCiccio brings it down, and he's off to the races. Pass behind the back. Nifty move to find Lowen Martin on what was a 3-on-2 developing there for KW. Orangeville back with it will slow things down. Pass back towards the pile. Sean Costigan touchdown in the crease, so ball over to KW. One eye here, one eye on Mimico Arena, where Six Nations Arrows are facing the Mountaineers tonight, and they're up 2-1 in their first period. We'll try and keep you up to date on that game as the night progresses. Interception of the pass, Edwards. Near side to Owen Toval. Gets to bring the ball across center this time. Waiting for reinforcements. Nolan Sanderson far side, and a high stick is going to be called, I think. Well, I was going to say on Cam Sanderson because Orangeville had the ball, and I think that is going to be the case. Him and Francis got tangled up. And the first power play of the night coming KW's way. Cam Sanderson been roughed up already in this first period a few times and tried to respond and did so with a high stick. A number of fakes from Frateroli after Rothwell did the same, and Konstantopoulos was down but still came away with the stop as now Elijah Edwards runs it away from the scene. Dylan Sanderson took a chop. There's one man back for KW. It's Garen Jennings and Dylan Sanderson switch spots. Sanderson from the outside. That one Looked and sounded like it was off Cole Doherty, but ball's going to stay here with Frateroli. James Donnelly through Rathwell and the corner. Donnelly taking stop spot, now sidesteps his way off it. Hard shot from the backboards through Baker, Rathwell. And now Donnelly again. Rathwell, top spot, shoots, and Constantopoulos is going to trap it there against the left pad. Under 3 to go in the period, under 50 to go. 50 seconds, that is, in the power play to KW. Owen Ron going to slow it down, being spied by 2 KW defenders. DeCiccio high on Kruger. Did knock the ball free momentarily, and now Kruger taken down, and DeCiccio stands over top of his prey. Hunter Roy coming to help out as well as the shot clock sounds to give KW one final chance, perhaps here with under 20 seconds left on their first power play of the night. Donnelly to the corner. Waiting for the return pass. It comes, Rathwell. Donnelly. Barker shoots past the screen and scores, and we're tied up again at 3. Nolan Barker this time. Look at all the bodies in front of the net. Starts with an errant shot. Malachi Good's going to clear out. And 2 defenders come over, and between the white jerseys and all the traffic, Constantopoulos does not see it. As it's in the back of the net. So both teams with a power play marker now. Here in the tied first period, 3-3 inside the 2-minute warning. As Lowen Martin gets swarmed by a trio of Northman players, including Max Kruger. Pardon me, that was Bishop Berman that then had Costigan blast into his pick. Nolan Sanderson. Back to Cam, a moving screen. Sends it back the other way, lowering the shoulder. Kyler Francis on his way around the crease, then gets hit into the end boards. Dylan Sanderson there with the rebound. Got hooked down. The KW player, DeCiccio, lost his stick. And now Andrew Suter looking for a penalty that's not going to come. Both teams have 2 timeouts they can use at any point, but 1 per period as Garen Jennings took a shot from up top and then went right back after the ball. All of this under the shot clock of Trey Weinstein. Not going to get across center in the allotted 8 seconds. So good pressure on both ends of the floor. On one side to strip the ball for Orangeville, and on the other side to force the 8-second count. Jennings to Sanderson. That's Cam that lets a shot fly. Martineau on him as he recovers the rebound. 40 seconds to go in the period. 3-3 tie, Orangeville and KW. Dylan Sanderson off the bench. You can take the shot clock all the way down, it would seem. As it's now under 30. Back up top for Cam Sanderson. Save Richards. Rebound stayed in the crease and it's picked up, and the KW bench going to call timeout. As they make their way over. They'll go into the huddle. Down towards the right side of the bench is General Manager Doug Arthur, Steve Orleman down there as well, and Equipment Manager Billy, who has been part of this KW organization. This is 20th season. So Billy, happy anniversary. Always comes and makes sure he says hi when we're in the same building. Looks like Frateroli, Barker, Brennan, Donnelly. I would imagine Rathwell going to be part of this exchange as well, as Richards will be on the bench. Malachi Good, the other forward, part of the six-man set. For the last 22 seconds of this first period, KW trying to take a lead into the locker room. Rathwell going to wait things out after crossing the timeline. Time now down to 7, and here comes the play. Couple screens, low shot from Frateroli. Stayed in the crease of Evan Constantopoulos, who was looking down floor at the empty cage, but our first period solves nothing. We're tied at 3s after 1. A reminder, we're back on air tomorrow night at 8 p.m. start. Toronto Beaches at the Oakville Buzz. That's at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. And then Friday night, May the 30th, Six Nations in Peterborough along with our crew at 8 p.m. start there. Be sure to download the official Ontario Junior Lacrosse League app for the entire schedule. Get out and support your local team and subscribe here as we'll take you through all the action throughout the season. That includes 2 more periods coming up here at Tony Rose Arena. We'll take a quick timeout before bringing you back to the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
Back here at Tony Rose, where the action got started in just 11 seconds. Cohen Jennings scoring to open it for the Orangeville Northmen, but then how about back-to-back goals within a minute? Breakaway marker for Kyler Francis. After Constantopoulos did save one, Chris Rathwell then. A nifty little move to come in front of the crease. His sidearm shot gets through. Then Max Kruger from the outside on the power play. Shoots it through everybody. His hot streak continues as he's now got 7 goals in 2 games. Then Dylan Sanderson takes the quick stick pass across the floor, and he'll bury before Nolan Barker does the same just outside of 2 minutes left in the period. That's how we get to 3-3 after the first. And how about goals from number 17, 18, 19, and 20 in succession? And then nobody in 21 would oblige, so back-to-back number 11s scoring. For those of you that appreciate those kind of things. Trying to get shot totals here. Orangeville 3 goals off 12. And for KW 3 off 18 in the first period as we switch sides here in period number 2. Zach Richards down now in the net to our left. And all 6'6", 230 of Evan Constantopoulos off to our right-hand side. Caden Berger taking a couple big chops as he comes around the net. Ended up getting shoved into his own man. Already made it further in this period than we did in the first before our goal was scored. DeCiccio, big high step. Ends up passing to the far side. Barker giving it back up top. Rathwell rushed it a little bit. And now DeCiccio. Shot clock reset inadvertently, and officials weren't aware and might have cost Orangeville there as they were headed down floor. Keep your eye on the transition of the Northmen here in this middle stanza. Historically, where they start to run away with things. A 6-1 period in Brampton, leading to that win on Sunday. Outside shot, Sanderson got it right in the midsection of the defender. Yeah, goody don't rub it indeed for Weinstein. Gonna go take a breather just now getting to the bench. Martineau, he brought it all the way down the boards. Donnelly. Now to Martineau's replacement in Chris Rathwell. Rathwell, Marino. Cycle continues to Noah Candy. Late in the shot clock far side, Brennan scores. Fourth different KW player to score here in the game now. And just look at the ball movement, all of it going east-west. And there was time for Brendan to set up. And perhaps for Constantopoulos to get over, but big hit back at center draws some attention from Columbus. Side of the net, blown up there was Sanderson after the shot. Rebound's going to come back in the direction of the Orangeville bench. Noah Candy, James Donnelly picking up assists. As now it's going to be run out down the floor and a good time back check. Owen Ron on Kyler Francis knocked that one free. KW still with it, however. 2.5 minutes into this second period. Second time KW's taken the lead. Nobody's had it by more than one goal so far in the game. Frateroli, far side, Rathwell. And Frateroli keeping it high. They want to slow things down. Now we'll give to Malachi Good. Floated a little bounce shot towards the 5-hole of Constantopoulos. Everything was covered up, and then a takedown over in the corner. Alex Messier. Frateroli. Back to Rathwell, who popped out of the pile. Brennan waiting up top. The shot's going to go off the end window, and hard hit in behind the net. Drew some oohs and ahs from off the visitors' bench. Coming down in transition off the bench, scoring is Cohen Jennings, his second of the game. And Will Peschening is fired up over on the bench. As we get another look at the transition play from Owen Toval. Repeated nothing behind us about 3 or 4 times. Loud enough to hear it over in Pad B, I think. As you saw in the replay, the same thing he did. 2 white jerseys getting behind the defense for what is the tying goal. Tied up for the 4th time here in the game. Garen Jennings. Cross floor picked off. Here comes DeCiccio. DeCiccio has a trailer coming. Likes to shoot himself, and it's going to be off a couple bumpers before going back in the stick of Haynes. Ryder Haynes heads off. It's pushed down the wall. Nolan Barker with it. He scored the power play marker for KW. As now Brennan looking for an outlet. Back to Barker. Sidearm shot on the run. Bangs off Constantopoulos. DeCiccio, the rebound. Jennings postured up in front of it, allowing Graydon Stokes to bring it up and across center. Dylan Sanderson. He'll wait with it. Faked like he was going to go across the top. Passes down low. Cohen Jennings looking for Cam Sanderson. That pass too high. And now Francis finds Martin. Looks off the man off the bench. And Constantopoulos going to cover up the shot that was headed for the 5-hole. Closing in on 5 minutes gone here in the period. Both teams with a goal already in what's been a tight game throughout. Nolan Sanderson's shot doesn't get far enough out of the crease for Evan Miller to do anything with. Now Francis. Back the other way, Noah Candy, hard shot, scores. Noah Candy steps into this one. And another one that gets through everybody and everything. And into the back of the net. Constantopoulos was looking for some kind of reaction there because there was a high screen. Columbus having a word with the official before this faceoff, which he'll now contest alongside Cooper Campbell. DeCiccio chases it back into his own end as KW bring it down. Costigan going to chase DeCiccio back over the center line. DeCiccio for Haynes. Donnelly from outside wants to shoot. No lane though, so Frateroli puts it back into the corner. Rathwell. Back through Barker. His pass intended for Frateroli falls. And what do we got? A slashing call. I think it's Cooper Campbell behind the play. Going to get called for a slash, and After KW scored on their first power play, they'll go back to the man-up unit for a second time tonight. If you're on the left side of your screen there, yeah. I think an obvious call for the official. Donnelly, Frateroli, back to the corner. Barker, pass back into the feet of Frateroli, forces Rathwell to come all the way back down floor and pick it up. Rathwell to Barker, nice move to get free. Shot resets the clock. Frateroli to Donnelly. Now Rathwell stepping in. Back to Barker. Donnelly, Frateroli good. Everyone's touched it now as they come back around the horn for a second time. Frateroli up top off Konstantopoulos and in. 6 goals now from 6 different goal scorers from KW, and it's the largest lead for either team tonight. 6-4 in favor of Kitchener. A double seal up high, and just looks like Konstantopoulos is there, but it bounces off his pad and in. And you know, I talked to Riley Hutchcraft about this a few years ago, about goaltenders coming off their first season in the NLL. As Lowen Martin's going to handle this faceoff, goes back to the bench. He said it had nothing to do really with getting used to the big stick again or the different size nets. It was the speed of the game. Especially when you're a practice roster goalie, you're taking shots from pros all the time, as Dylan Sanderson sends the low one through Richards. Sanderson with 4 points now. He's been in on every single one of the Northman goals. And it's going to be 11 all alone here. Although Max Kruger does help with a little seal in front of the shot. But you can see the eyes of the defense mostly looking over to that bench so they didn't get burned, but needed to spare one for the ball carrier. And we're back within 1 down to the crease. Nolan Sanderson pushed through. They give Cohen Jennings an assist to go along with his 2 goals on the Sanderson goal. Just 26 seconds after KW stretched the lead up to 2. Dylan Sanderson ducks away from a check. Kruger sets the screen again. Sanderson to Kruger. Draws 2 defenders up over the top. Outside, Jennings shot. 1 wide, down to 5 seconds as Kruger gets it back. Will rush in and a bouncer. Got past the stick of Richards, it looked like, but then lost somewhere in his leg pads. 8 minutes gone here in the period. 6-5 KW, already 3 goals here in this middle frame for the visitors. Candy. Back to Marino. And blowing right through the screen was Owen Toval. A nice job there to get the turnover. Cade Cordingley likes to keep the ball. He'll wait for reinforcements off the bench. Sanderson. That's Cam giving it to Jennings, who will bounce it across to Kruger, who had trouble with it. And recovered there by Ron. Out in front, Jennings got bowled over. 2 officials, both have their arms high. Outside bouncer Kruger. And Richards is upset by something. Not sure if he thinks this should be a crease call. Have to wait and see. Here comes the penalty. So Jennings is down in the crease. Does he get out before this ball? Oh, not even close. No challenge here, though, in the OJLL, so it's on the board, and we're tied 6-6. Minute 12 away from the halfway mark of regulation time. Good jousting match for position off to the right of your screen. Weinstein, the lone man, back for KW, and Joe Columbus wins it and nearly got put in the front rows. Went hard into the glass. Here's Francis. Big high step, but no shot. Dylan Sanderson comes back to throw the hit. Just after Campbell did the same. Now Francis brings it down. His bounce shot wide. Brought back down by Rathwell, but now only 5 to shoot. Swim move, still on the run. Didn't let it go, and Constantopoulos was down, got back up. And the shot not in time. Dylan Sanderson looking for a call. Gonna bring the ball back down. Sanderson splits the D, gives to his brother Cam, who got hit in front of the net and a bit slow getting up. Did reset the shot clock though. Backdoor, Owen Ron scores. It's been a while since the Northmen have been on top here in this game, but they now take the lead back. Owen Ron sneaking back door. A lot of attention, rightfully so, being paid to Dylan and Cam Sanderson, but it's Owen Ron that sneaks in and will score goal number 7. Three straight here for the Northmen. Inside the back half of the period as Sanderson's going to pick up another point now, 5. 2 goals, 3 assists. Gets a secondary assist on that goal by Owen Ron that gives the Northmen a lead. Kruger over the top, no shot. Jennings rings that off the post, I believe, and hard hit coming as Francis was going after the ball. He goes right back after Kruger with a cross check. Kruger responds with a slash as Francis heads off. Here's Candy from outside. Sidearm shot around Elijah Edwards, and Constantopoulos saw that one. Braden Stokes. Big body, even bigger stick. As Kruger's on the run, gonna snipe again. Hat-trick in consecutive games now for the rookie Max Kruger. Senses the lane to the net and watch him work. Over the top, around a bit of a screen, and 8-6. Seems like no time. Well, it was just about 4 minutes ago. KW had a 2-goal lead, and 4 straight for the Northmen. Have swung it back the other way, 8-6. Talked about this on Sunday. When the Hornheads get rolling, it's very hard to stop, especially here in this second frame. Martin can't make the pass across the floor. Finally, it does work to Rathwell. He got all tangled up on his way to the net. Ball brought down by Owen Toval, who had to be close and make sure he didn't go back in the crease. Toval and Martineau one-on-one. Ball in the stick of Cam Sanderson. From the outside, screen set by Ron, and Sanderson's shot off of Richards. Back towards the corner, Martineau was there to scoop the loose ball. Martineau over center. Roy finds Frateroli. Circling the net was Malachi Good. Candy comes off the bench from his wrong side. Rathwell was hiding behind the official. Ball was still there. Frateroli, a nice catch as his shot ends up hitting something along the way. Perhaps the leg of Carter Coffey. Now Elijah Edwards down floor. Split save made by Richards. Caught it there against the left leg pad. Noah Candy had a couple cracks at bringing that one down. Bounced off his stick, and now it'll be Edwards. Still with it as him and Donnelly chase each other back to center. Costigan waits and looks off Sanderson. Cam Sanderson to Nolan. His shot into the big summer stick canoe paddle of Zach Richards. Ryder Haynes cross center. Marino into Brennan. He was getting worked over. Frateroli. Far side Brennan returns to Frateroli with room, and a hard shot finds the mark again for Max Frateroli. I mean, you'd be excused if you didn't think much of this KW offense, especially over the last couple seasons where they won 2 and 4 games. But they've found something here this offseason, as now there's a lot of outside shots finding the mark. Keeping it close here against Orangeville after winning their opener 10-5 against Peterborough. And perhaps most importantly, that stops the run of Orangeville at 4. Now with under 7 to play in the period. Costigan and Columbus will go back to the face-off dot. I say back to the face-off dot. It's been mostly Cooper Campbell. Not out there for that draw. And it was easily won by KW. Rathwell is going to wait, get the draw team off the floor. Offensive unit out there with 6.5 to go. Donnelly works around a screen. Fake the return pass. It'll go to Rathwell. Hard no-look pass across to Noah Candy. And he quick-sticked it, but did so wide off the end glass. And the rebound's going to bounce all the way back down the floor. Sanderson. Through Kruger now. Back to Camden Jennings, far side. Sanderson picks up the errant pass as Garen Jennings was trying to find Cohen. And a good save from Richards. Roy. Frateroli backpedaling away from pressure. Screen coming from Good. Frateroli. Far side. Brennan backs into pressure. His pass deflects off a body, and Graydon Stokes going to pick up. He's going to lead Max Kruger in on a breakaway, and the shot off the right arm of Richards goes up out of play. It'll be a fresh 30 seconds coming here for the Northmen. Stokes to Sanderson. All by himself on the right side for now. Help coming in the form of Owen Ron. They want to isolate Sanderson. Ron can't throw the pick. It'll be a pick and roll, though. And Owen Ron at the back end scores. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Everyone thinks this is going to be Sanderson by himself. Doesn't go over the top because of the screen. You have to respect his shot. But then Ron slips off the pick and goes to the net and puts it in to restore the 2-goal lead against the Orangeville North. Campbell is back out there for a face-off against Columbus. Up for grabs, rolling back to the near boards. Big pile up, including Weinstein. Martineau in there as well. Can't pick it up, neither could Martin. And Carter Coffey eventually there, no over and back. Ball was passed off to Rathwell just before Trayton Weinstein was knocked back across the timeline. Frateroli to a stumbling Donnelly on the run. His sidearm shot hits the end boards. Covering there, Marino. He also nearly stumbled before shooting. Now here to Costigan. Costigan, Edwards. Waits for help off the bench. It's Jennings. Now to Sanderson. Cam Sanderson looking for a man in the corner, and Cohen Jennings. Excuse me, that's Guerin now coming to Cam Sanderson. Shot clock was reset as KW touched it up. Gets reset again with the interception from Orangeville. Break there for the Northmen. We're going to take it right to the cage. And Richard stands his ground and lets the ball disappear back into that leg pad. 3.5 left in the second period. 2-goal lead here for KW. They took the only timeout in that first period. As now Candy to the far side. Brennan ducks in. Shot there off the side of the net. No shot. Not going to matter though as Zach Poirier brings it up and across. Evan Miller back to the quarter. Sanderson swarmed after shooting and is down. Some words there with Joe Columbus. Max Kruger came in to say something as well as he's right in the face here of Trayton Weinstein, it looks like. Play resumes with Dylan Sanderson back upright. Cam got taken down and they're going to call it an illegal push. And another fresh 30 coming here for the Northmen. Doherty working over his man Poirier on the far side. Sanderson got taken down in the middle of the set. Kruger's going to shoot. Cohen Jennings on the crease and in it. Got called and extra whistles. Do we have a penalty coming here against Orangeville? I think we do. Columbus taken down, trying to escape to the bench, and for the second time tonight, Cam Sanderson will sit. And there was a lot going on. I mean, that's straight into the numbers. After a pretty dicey offensive set, and I think if there wasn't extra action with Dylan Sanderson and a few others, including Max Kruger, perhaps that call is not made. Power play running perfect for Kitchener-Waterloo tonight. 2-2, but this one's going to be Coffey down on a breakaway. His twister cleanly caught by Richards. Inside the 2-minute warning, Frateroli will leave to Donnelly. Back to Rathwell. And Donnelly now, outside shot, hits a man, Graydon Stokes, I believe. Donnelly, Frateroli, shot clock down to 10. Donnelly in the middle, puts it off the pad of Constantopoulos, and Frateroli will bring it down to reset the shot clock. Minute 30 left in the period, excuse me. Donnelly to the crease, quick stick. Constantopoulos another save. Malachi Good on the doorstep to pick up the rebound. Under a minute to go in the period. Under a minute in the penalty, excuse me. I'll figure out which clock is which here in a second. Donnelly back up top. Rathwell, his shot through the middle. It's another block for Stokes. But another rebound to Donnelly and KW. 10 on the shot clock. Last minute of the period, 33 to go in the penalty. Frateroli, Donnelly, Frateroli shoots, and another block. That last one going to Alex Messier, 4 on an extended penalty kill set. And Andrew Suter greets the penalty killers, as does Phil Sanderson, with high fives and bucket taps all around. Max Kruger now shorthanded. Into the final minute. To Sanderson, to Cohen Jennings, cutting through, scores. Hat trick for Jennings. 5th assist for Sanderson. And you can give apples to the penalty killing unit as well for a couple big blocks back the other way. What a look for Dylan Sanderson. A long pass to lead the shooter. And Cohen Jennings coming in to complete his hat trick. Hat tricks now for Cohen Jennings and Max Kruger. Pair of goals for Dylan Sanderson and Owen Ron. Those 4 have done all the damage, combining for 10 goals here for the Northmen, who will return 5-on-5. 20 seconds left here in the period. 10 left to shoot for KW. Marino to Rathwell. He'll work it back to the half boards. Barker wanted the pass, not going to get it. And another block. As stepping up in front of that was Alex Messier. Kind of surprised there's no timeout here. No time really is probably why. As Orangeville just launch it down. But what a period between these two teams. 11 goals combined, 7 of them on the side of the Northmen, who now lead by 3. Heading into the final frame, 10-7. Your score here at the opener in Tony Rose. One other game going on tonight. That's Six Nations in Mimico, showing 6-3 also through 2 periods. The Arrows lead that one, looking for their league-leading 3rd win of the season. Win for the Arrows will put them atop the table before they head to Peterborough along with our crew on Friday. 8 p.m. start time for that game, as well as tomorrow, Toronto Beaches in Oakville at the track. Be sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the action here on the OJLL YouTube channel throughout the season. Take one final break, 9.5 minutes until period number 3. It's going to be a good one here in Orangeville. You're watching the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Game of the Week.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Hey, let's go. Raise up one time. Go get it. It's yours. Let's shine. Come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
You can catch the fun with lacrosse, Canada's national summer sport. Everyone can experience the excitement of lacrosse, where fun meets fitness and friends are made. Lacrosse is one of the youngest organized sports children can play. And with 66 clubs throughout Ontario, everyone can get in on the fun. Visit playlacrosse.com. Our interactive map will help you find a lacrosse club in your area. Join the Ontario lacrosse community today. Ask a parent before going online.
A wild 11-goal second period. Seems like a long time ago since Cal Brennan opened the scoring across floor pass, and he quick sticks it in at the time. That gave KW a lead. Cohen Jennings then in transition. This is the one that Will Peschening was really upset about, where two guys got behind the KW defense, including Jennings, who scored. That tied it up again before Noah Candy is going to restore the lead. This shot straight down Main Street. And in behind Constantopoulos, Max Frateroli then. About a minute and a half later, going to wheel over the top, and basically a carbon copy, except this one, instead of hitting the mesh, hits the leg. That gave KW a 2-goal lead, but only momentarily. How about 4 goals in 4 minutes? Starting with this one from Dylan Sanderson, and Max Kruger has been on an absolute tear. Keep your eye to the left side as that shot goes in. Well, it looked like Jennings was still in the crease after being hit, but nonetheless, it stays on the board as Owen Ron, the backdoor quick stick, would give the lead back to Orangeville, and they would make it a 2-goal lead with Max Kruger on the run. Back the other way. It's Max Frateroli again. Basically the exact same play. He goes over the shoulder instead of sidearm that time. That would be goal number 7. Pulling within 1, and then a little pick and roll action. Dylan Sanderson and Owen Ron, the beneficiary, and then in the last minute, Cohen Jennings sneaks through. A beautiful find from Dylan Sanderson. That made it 10-7 on the side of KW. Frateroli with a pair of goals. Otherwise, singles all the way through. Dylan Sanderson working on a 7-point night. Kruger with back-to-back hat tricks. Cohen Jennings 3 and 2. He's got 5. And Kruger with 4 points here this evening. Wanted to take a minute before we start this period, and prior to the game, we mentioned this a few nights ago when we were down in St. Catharines, but a moment of silence for the memory of Matt Eckert, who did play here in Orangeville. He's an assistant coach with the Owen Sound North Stars Junior B program as well. They canceled a couple of games. I understand they're getting back in action coming up this weekend. And we continue to think of that family. Eckhart's family was coaching softball before it was killed in a crash along with 3 others in the car. And yeah, the stuff we really don't like reporting on or talking about. But again, lacrosse family rallying around the family of Matt Eckhart, and of course the the Orangeville Northman where he played, of course, but the Owen Sound North Stars where he coached and was very close to another number of those young men. You can see the Northmen back on the floor here as the game continues. A little handshake between Evan Constantopoulos and Garrett Thompson. And it's Northmen come in leading 10-7, and right on cue, KW making their way onto the floor. Zach Richards and Bryce Wismer, the tandem for KW Lacrosse Club this season. In that period, how about 7 goals off 21 shots for the Hornets, 4 off 17 for KW is how we get to 10 off 33 and 7 off 35 for the two teams tonight. Another reminder, we're back on air tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Evan Constantopoulos' younger brother, Zach, the goaltender for the Oakville Buzz in their home opener at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. They will host the Toronto Beaches, who got Thomas Kaisick back in their last game, and with NCAA commitments wrapped up, Willem Firth should be back in the lineup. But we'll have to wait and see, as you can expect a big summer from number 14 for the Beaches as well. Again, 8 o'clock start time tomorrow from the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Best way to experience Junior A lacrosse is in person, but if you can't do it, we've got you covered. Brennan coming off the bench. Has the ball here, passes it through Donnelly. Far side, Frateroli, well falling, got hit a couple times. Returns it back to Barker, who just got a shot away at the tail end of the shot clock. Cam Sanderson gonna wait it out. Big collision in the middle as Sanderson keeps this ball. Being chased down in the corner, however, by Cole Doherty. Whole pile falls, ball pops free. Recovered by the Northmen, who trying that quick stick crease pass for Jennings again. Initially didn't connect, but he's got it with only 3 to shoot, and probably does the wise thing, dumping it into empty corner. You can see how aggressive KW is going to want to be here defensively, especially in the offensive set. Aspect of their game that very, very underrated, especially in the league. Sidearm shot, Rathwell. And I mean, if this KW team can put themselves in playoff conversation contention, it really makes the drive into July really exciting. Cade Cordingley. Shot through traffic, that hit a body, is now Columbus. Backed into pressure from Dylan Sanderson down floor. Lead runner Berger initially missed the pass, but now has it corralled. Going to wait for reinforcements off the bench. Although being harassed by Campbell here. Campbell then goes at Frateroli. It's played back near side Barker. Brennan over the top. Elected to shoot from a long way from home, trying to beat the shot clock, and couldn't do it. Elijah Edwards in transition. Crashed into coverage and will now flip the ball here to Owen Ron. Nolan Sanderson. Pass intended for Kruger behind the net. Intercepted by Francis. Rathwell spotted Candy going through the middle and off the stick and brought down by Owen Toval. He's had a really strong game here tonight. Sanderson outside, dancing around. DeCiccio comes up and plays hard defense. Now Columbus going to help out. Hard hit and caught. Looked like Richards was paying attention to his mask. It was actually caught up in the glove area. And then he motions to the official. He needs a sec to go work on his leg pad. Giving us a chance to check in on the game in Mimico. They are in the third period. 6-4 Arrows leading the Mountaineers. Hat-trick for Eric Martin. Dalen John Hill with 5 points. A goal and 4 assists. Pair of goals for Jacob Keller. And just as we say that, the Arrows score again and go up 7-4. Malachi Good backing into pressure on the crease. 10-7 here in the third period. Orangeville Northmen leading Kitchener-Waterloo. Max Kruger. And Jennings. In the corner, Sanderson. Kruger returns the pass. That shot wide of the mark. Picked up at the side of the net. Jennings finds Sanderson coming back straight down Main Street. And Cam Sanderson, his first of the night. And becomes just the 5th different Northman to score here in the game. Give Garen Jennings a 3rd assist. And give the Northmen an 11-7 lead. The largest for either side in the game. Columbus moved early on the draw, so it's going to be awarded to Campbell and the Northmen. Cohen Jennings. In the corner to Sanderson. Ron back to Kruger. He's done it again. Max Kruger with 4 in back-to-back games. And he's letting KW know about it as he passes in front of their bench. Max Kruger going to have one heck of a season offensively if this keeps up. And not just this season, but looking forward to about 40 more years here in the Northman uniform. Kid's going to be something good. AP'd and played a fair amount through the playoffs for the Northmen last year in their championship run. Ball going to come back to Carter Coffey. Fake to run in. By the way, we've still got 15.5 left to go. Could still be a bigger night for Kruger as Cam Sanderson cut through the middle. Paid the price as he did so. And Ryder Haynes will run away from the scene. Haynes to Rathwell. Brennan tiptoeing his way back towards the corner. Looking for an option. Found it in Donnelly. Far side bouncer comes back and skips away from Brennan. Right at the tail end of the shot clock. Constantopoulos there to hang on. Bishop Berman will leave it for Kruger. He's going to keep despite being harassed by DeCiccio. Ron. Cross floor to Jennings. Nolan Sanderson Max Kruger now, he crashes back in. Sanderson's sidearm shot, that hits the leg of Columbus, is going to come back over. Francis and Sanderson all tied up. Shot clock's going to go. Probably could have made a case for over and back there as well, if not for the deflection. 5.5, closing in on 6 minutes. Come on here in the final regulation time period. Roman Parker. Up top, Rathwell. Second of the game for Chris Rathwell. That's going to bring KW back within 4. So work to do, but this is where it starts. And another one with a high defender on the hands of the shooter where you want him to be. And that shot from up top has fooled Constantopoulos on a couple of occasions here tonight. Owen Toval. Jennings through the middle. Dylan Sanderson swarmed. Ron picks up the rebound. Was celebrating goal. Official was right there. Said otherwise. It's close to the crease as well, so that could have been interesting had it found the back of the net. Cade Cordingley. Stutter step as he came across a restraining line. Ball popped free. Ryder Haynes' pass initially missed the mark, then recovered. Nolan Tandy got a good opportunity out of the broken play. Edwards finds Kruger. Does he have another one in him? Not yet, as he gives to Sanderson. Going to set the screen in front of Sanderson now, who drags it back. Goes out in front to Cohen Jennings. Collision down by the boards with Evan Miller. Jennings turned and collided there with Weinstein. Officials were closing in, thought we may have had a penalty coming as check looked to be a little high, but officials say play on. Here's Brennan. Rathwell over the line, Frateroli trailing. Excuse me, that's Rathwell to Brennan. Malachi Good to Frateroli. Rathwell. Over the top, elects not to shoot. Costigan took a couple tries to bring it down, and going to be postured upon by Rathwell. Close to the timeline, a nice swim move. As Costigan gets over top of the pile. Going to stay on and play offense here. Costigan with it, no one in the corner as Jennings has come to throw a screen. Play to the far side, Cam Sanderson turns and fires wide. Jennings will bring it down. Looking to go back to Sanderson for a second chance, and Doherty into the back of Cam Sanderson, knocks him down, and we'll get another penalty. KW bench calling for a dive. Keep your eye in front of the crease. Right there, I mean, it's a cross-check into the numbers. And it's been called all night long. KW bench still not happy about it, but it is the third power play of the night for the Northmen. They scored on one previous opportunity. Jennings to Dylan Sanderson, sidearm. Got its way through, trying to pick up one-handed as he was being swarmed. Jennings nearly lost his footing, and then coming down the boards, Garen Jennings barreled into the KW player who's getting up slowly. I believe that was Caden Berger, and this will even the numbers. Garen Jennings called for the cross check. So we get a second look. It's going to be here on the late attempt. I mean, not much there if we're being honest. It is in the vicinity of the boards, and it does come after another cross-checking penalty. So case could be made to support the officials on that one. Barker to Rathwell. He's getting all kinds of work over on his way through to the front of the crease. Eventually the ball is going to be played up to Carter Coffey, whose name, by the way, was not spelled like that on the notes we were given on Sunday. So a few mispronunciations in that game, but we'll have it the rest of the season, I assure you. Minute 20 left here in the penalty, under 10 to shoot. Sanderson does and completes his hat trick. And how about an 8-point night for Dylan Sanderson? And he's hearing it from the KW bench after a pretty significant celebration. Yeah, I don't think it's just the celebration, the fact that the head was turned in that direction as well. But 13-8 now. We continue 4-on-4. And straight down Main Street is Coffey. Richard's going to collapse over top of that one. Evan Miller picking up the assist. Maybe the first OJLL point, I believe, for Evan Miller. Toval, another pretty good hard work hustle play. As the penalty about to expire for KW as we're in the back half of this regulation time period. Outside shot, Kruger goes off of Richards, up out of play. In 2 seconds, it will turn into a Northman power play. So we make that a KW power play. Jennings in the box for another 12 seconds. Kruger here to Cohen Jennings. Nolan Sanderson sets the screen. Kruger allowed to walk in. Took about 3 or 4 steps before Martineau collided with him. Francis and Sanderson involved on the doorstep of the crease, and then coming through with a hard hit was Francis. Had a peek at the official as Sanderson went down hard, but we play on 5-on-5 now with 9 minutes to go. 13-8, Northman lead. It was close for a while, back and forth. KW actually led by 2 back in the second period, and now a hard hit by Graydon Stokes puts a KW player into the boards, and going to get another penalty. Coming here to Stokes on the hard hit as the officials try and keep a lid on this one. It's going to be another cross-checking call, and very similar to the one Jennings took. So again, I believe the standard has been set tonight, and officials trying to stick to it. Donnelly, Rathwell towards the corner, back up top. Frateroli, Rathwell. There was a little piece of 5-hole open, but fortunately for Rathwell, found the stick instead. Here's Edwards. Malachi Good tripped up at center. Had a few words for his man on the way off. Still looking back at the officials, and now going to double over as Dylan Sanderson has it back. Another high step, another screen, a shot, and another Richards save. KW having trouble getting rid of it. Swim move, DeCiccio. Collided with Dylan Sanderson at center, and it'll now be flipped to Frateroli. He'll return the favor to Rathwell. Minute 4 seconds left in the third power play of the game for KW. Coming in a perfect 2 for 2. Less than 10 to shoot, though. Frateroli does on the run. It'll reset the shot clock, and he brings down his own rebound. Barker. Donnelly up top. Rathwell back there. Malachi Good in and out of his stick. Stick gets chopped out of the hands of Coffey and heads up over on the bench. Good hands, Phil Sanderson. Edwards. Kruger. He'll go down the boards to Cam Sanderson. About a 4-second difference. Penalty clock, shot clock. Not going to matter now as Cohen Jennings takes it in on Richards, and now only 10 left on the latest man advantage for KW. Brennan. Around the corner on Berman. Berman passes back up, and Poirier jumped the route, makes the interception, and carries it back into KW territory as we return 5-on-5. 6.5 minutes left to play here in regulation time. Dylan Sanderson already with 8 points. Looking for 9 on his 4th goal, and puts it into the leg pad of Richards instead. DeCiccio with speed back up over center. He'll stop at the restraining line. Haynes disappearing behind him. He'll go off for a change as Donnelly comes out. Donnelly down the boards to Marino, who shot well running, took a hit after the fact. Another one comes in on Konstantopoulos. Loose ball scooped up by the Northmen. Toval. Through Jennings and Sanderson. This is Cam now finding Kruger. 4 goals again for Kruger. Finds the crossbar. Roy looked like he came down with that ball, able to slide it up the boards to Martin. Help coming off the bench, Rathwell. He'll wait just before coming into the defensive set. Chris Rathwell. Far side, a big head fake. Comes for Candy, who scores. Noah Candy, second of the game. Just a quick release shot. And Konstantopoulos takes the opportunity to get a water break, as does Zach Richards for the home stretch here. 5 minutes left to go. KW 1 away from double digits. Here in this one, Columbus. And Campbell. Waiting the face-off. Campbell pushed it ahead to his man. It comes right back into the stick of Weinstein. Rathwell. We've got Brennan and Frateroli both with 4 points. Rathwell trying to get it back to Donnelly in the corner. Elijah Edwards was there. Now Coffey. And then Donnelly tangling. Brought down by Wood, and 8-second count against Orangeville. Gives the ball right back to Kitchener. Up top, Frateroli. Looking there through Marino, Brennan, close to the over and back line. Got rid of it before being pushed over. Marino to Rathwell. Wanted the shot, was being directed the long way around the crease, but still managed to get it into the pads of Konstantopoulos. 4-goal lead here for the Northmen. Thanks to a monster second period yet again, where they scored 7 goals, part of 11 combined. Dylan Sanderson shot off the glass. They go back to the crease looking for Cam, who takes another hard hit and goes sliding into the outside boards. Mo Dillon's got the ball. With 3.5 to go in regulation, you start counting possessions here. Dylan Sanderson to Garen Jennings. Richards comes across and going to sit on top of the ball. Loose glove down on the floor, backing KW's end. Official can't figure out where it's supposed to go. Ball bouncing back by the restraining line. Poirier able to get there first and bring it down for Kruger. Max Kruger being harassed by DeCiccio. It's Dylan Sanderson and now Cam off the bench. Big collision blows up Nolan Sanderson. Open running space for Cohen Jennings, but Northman couldn't capitalize as Columbus runs it down the boards. Collision there at the restraining line just as Marino was coming down with the ball. Rathwell finally makes his way out onto the floor with just 9 seconds left in the shot clock. Rathwell ducks under a defender trying a one-hand shot. Got next to nothing on it. And it was well wide, destined for the corner. It goes for a shot clock violation. Here's Campbell. Waiting for Miller. Up top, Evan Miller shoots past the screen. Richards still able to see it and make the stop as we were inside the 2-minute warning. Roy flips to Barker. Brennan cross far side. Marino to Barker now, looking for the top corner. Left arm of Konstantopoulos got there first, and now the stick will do the same to keep it in his crease. Jennings and Cam Sanderson playing catch with it. Back down the boards for Nolan Sanderson. Up top for Cam. Outside Kruger. Inside the final minute, 5 seconds to shoot. Kruger does. Not sure that really got all the way through, but now it's in the stick of DeCiccio anyways. And it does look like the Orangeville Northmen are going to improve to 2-1 here in the early stages of the season. Again, still waiting for a large compliment to return from NCAA assignments. But a good start despite the scare in their first game down in St. Catharines. Sticks are out over on the home bench. Andrew Suter wants no more pressure. They can indeed dribble out all the time. Some words here down low, however, between Columbus and Alex Messier. As time does expire and what's going to be a 13-9 victory for the Northmen. They improved to 2-1. Kitchener-Waterloo dropping to 1-1, which is the story for a lot of teams here in the first couple weeks of this young OJLL season. Reminder, our next broadcast comes your way tomorrow. Our crew is headed to the Toronto Rock Athletic Center, Toronto Peaches, facing the Oakville Buzz in the Buzz home opener. It's an 8 p.m. start time. Be sure you're subscribed here to the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League's YouTube channel, where we'll take you through the entire season. Another win. The first one as an Orangeville Northman for that man right there, Evan Konstantopoulos. First of what he's hoping to be many here on the season. 13-9 your final for the Orangeville Northmen. On behalf of them, our producer Gary Morrison, director Rachel Wolf, the rest of the JVI Sports Network, and the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League. I'm Matthew Carrick. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 8 p.m. start time from the Toronto Rock Athletic Center.